What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back. Sorry, I'm late. I'm late with All's Fair Season 1, Episode 5. This is me trying. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Y'all make sure you like the videos so we can stay in the algorithm. First of all, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are here and have always been here with me, welcome back. Okay. All right. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all though. For real, in real life. Okay. Hope y'all like my content. Always say that. You know, sometimes it gets colorful, aka I cuss a little bit, but not much here. But see this next one, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to be monetized, but at this point, I don't know where I'm gonna be. Anyway, not in Love's Fair. I mean, we're not talking about Love in Miami, Love and Hip Hop Miami. We talking about All's Fair. Okay, I thought it was a good episode because we finally got a chance to see Carrington. Y'all know she was rude and crass and an asshole, but I actually enjoy her. Like, we got a chance to really get in depth with who she is. So we get a scene from Carrington driving her daughter to school, and she asked her daughter, hey, do you want to invite anybody else to your birthday party? She gave them cupcakes to pass them out to the classmates. She was like, no, I feel like I'm low-key bribing people or begging people to come to my party. And yeah, she was like, listen, I only want me, the nanny, and her violin teacher at the party. So Carrington was like, listen, we need to invite people that are under 65. And she was like, no, I'm good, So then they talk about her dad. And her dad and Carrington was friends. And he helped Carrington out by giving her his sperm, so she can have a kid. I didn't think she had a kid, but okay. Anyway, so Carrington said that he left. They used to be really close, and he left for somebody that was on drugs. But we'll delve into that later. Anyway, we actually find out that the daughter is absolutely like Carrington, minus the rudeness. She's just socially awkward. She doesn't have any friends. And so we also find out that her best friend is the nanny. What was her name? I don't know. I forgot the nanny's name. But that's her daughter's bestie. Okay? Carrington thinks that their relationship is too codependent. It's weird. And she was like, I'm concerned. But your daughter is awkward like you. So this is how you made her. So I don't know what you expect from her. I know what she expects from her, but Anyway, we see Juliana. And Juliana, if I'm wrong, y'all drop it in the comments, but I believe Juliana is played by Brooke Shields. She looked good. Her husband is in a nursing home, and she really want to divorce him, and not because she don't love him, but because they have been married since she was 18, and she had a baby. He was in medical school once he, had the baby. Once she had her baby, she supported him in everything that he did, everything that he did. So basically, she put herself on a back burner because she loved her husband. And her husband, he included her. He never not included her. He made her feel like she mattered in a relationship. He never treated her poorly or anything like that. And we find out that he was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. Okay, she moved him to a facility about a year ago, and the daughter really doesn't want her mom to divorce. She doesn't want Juliana to divorce. She wants her to still be with her dad. But if you have to go do your thing, that's fine. But don't divorce him while he really needs you. But Juliana said he doesn't remember me. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't even know who the daughter is. And she feels away because of the love she has for him. You know, she tells the ladies that she really want to be free. Like, it's this level of freedom that she's in search for, because she's always supported him, but she's never done anything but just been a mom and a wife. So now she doesn't want to be a caregiver. She just want to be free. It's a hard. It seems like it not seem, but this is a hard space to be in if you're married. Like, this is crazy. Okay. So the ladies, they discuss Juliana's prenup, and Liberty feels like she deserves more. On the other hand, Dina feels like you took those vows for better or worse, richer or richer, and those should mean something since you married him. You took the vows, but y'all know Dina is old school, and Dougie is sick. So for better or for worse, okay, for richer or for richer, okay. So the ladies at this moment, they stop to ask Emerald how she's doing. She doesn't want to talk about her. She wants to, delve into other people's business, and that goes that, okay. So in the next scene, we see Carrington. She's running late for a mediation with Wilma Taro, I think that was the name. Taro. Forgive me, y'all. I was writing fast. Who is actually played by Jennifer Morrison. If you have not watched Once Upon a Time, I have watched that back and front and back. She plays Emma Swan. Okay? Listen. The Queen called her Miss Swan until the Queen decided she wanted to be the hero. She was the villain the whole time, but she decided she wanted to be a hero. So when she got on the hero side, she started calling her Emma, unless she was kind of pissed off at Emma for something. And then, you know what, Emma is the savior. Okay, you gotta go watch Once Upon a Time. That's my show. Okay, every once in a while I take a look at an episode. I just watch the whole season. Okay, the characters. This is not what this review is about. But just to take a little pause break, or push pause, if you have not watched Once Upon a Time on Disney Plus, it is good. Okay, all right. Anyway, we back. So Carrington gets a picture from her phone, and it was her daughter, and the dad, her friend, which is the dad. And then she started to tear up, which is something we have never, and I mean never, seen Carrington do. When I tell you she was soft, I was scared. I'm just playing. She was like extra soft. Okay, I was like, girl, what's wrong with her? Okay. And so Willow was like, what the hell? Like, girl, why you crying? Okay. Which I think this is why Willow hired Carrington, because Carrington is ruthless. Okay. So Willow asked Carrington what's wrong with her, and Carrington, she decided to, become her usual self. She said, unlike you, I am a human being. So excuse the shit out of me. Okay? And she gets up. She says, peace out, rotten hell, and all that shit. I quit. I was like, girl. Like, the irony in all of this is Carrington wants humanity. You want somebody to understand that you are a human. But when it comes to Dina, Liberty, Emerald, and Allura, you have been extremely disrespectful, as if these women are not human. I just want to point that out. So then Attorney Dome, which is a lady, I think that was her name. That was her last name. I didn't catch her first name, y'all, so help me out. She checked on Karen. Carrington left. And so she's outside smoking a cigarette. And the attorney, I think her name was Attorney Dome, come out, sit down, talks to Carrington. And they kind of chat about being a single parent, doing it alone, and how their kids are pretty much a little crazy, okay? So she lets Attorney Dome know that the picture popped up on the iPhone memory. And so when she saw it, she immediately got pissed off. So we'll find out why. So Mrs. Dome hands Carrington a card, and she offers up her friendship to Carrington, which is something I think people try to do, but because who she is and the things that she's been through, yeah, she's not really good at keeping friends. And so the attorney lets her know, hey, if you want friendship, you have to learn how to ask for it. So I thought that was a really nice gesture. I did not think we was going to get to know Carrington, but this actually surprised me, even in the title. Because that's what the title was about, is what she said to her baby daddy / friend. So we see Liberty and Reggie, they meet up to have dinner or lunch or whatever. And we find out the restaurant that they're eating at is now a vegan restaurant, and Reggie is the investor for that restaurant. And so he basically called Liberty to talk, so he drew up a prenup for her. So she was frustrated because prior to her coming to meet Reggie for dinner, she told the women that she didn't want to do she wanted to do a prenup, but she decided she wasn't going to do a prenup when it came to her and Reggie, because that is love. But something tells me that Liberty really, truly, in the back of her mind, does not want to be married. That's what I get. So Carrington is over at nasty ass Chase's house. Okay, well, Allura is paying $150K a month in the mortgage, or I don't know. I was like, that's a lot of money. Okay, I hope he catch something. He don't have nothing, no money, not 2 nickels to rub together. Nasty ass. So Carrington asks if he had any more surprises, because he's a nasty ass nigga. Okay, and now you see his nasty ass trying to put the moves on Carrington. And you're making all of these advances, and you've been doing a whole lot with your PD popper. Okay, sir? No. Okay? So she asked him, you need to really clean yourself up so we can go to court or whatever. She was talking about he needed to wash his hair. And she was, talking about how his hair was looking. So again, he kept trying to put the pee all on her flatbread. Okay, when I say flatbread, I mean her flat ass. Okay, so he was trying to put the pee all up on that lady, and that lady was like, I feel like she wanted to, but that's just messy. That's messy. You can't do that. You shouldn't do that, because in business, that's messy. And so I thought she was gonna stay, but I was like, girl, you got to get out of there, Molly. You are in danger. Okay, the twat is hot. You got to get up out of there, girl. This is nasty. Okay. So she actually decided to wash his hair, and when she was washing her hair, she must have saw the hair right here, because she was rubbing all of this. So his hair must be this long, because I ain't see no hair. But she was rubbing all of this, and I was like, girl, no ma'am. But she decided to dismiss his advances, and she head on home. Okay, she did a SpongeBob. Okay, I'ma head out. I ain't mad at that. So then she starts drunk driving. Okay, she's very reckless and the police is behind her. Police have her to get out the car so she can blow in the alcohol thing and to walk the line. Well, she couldn't walk the line, and she blew in that alcohol thing. Child probably was high as Medusa. Okay, so they end up locking her up. She called Miss Dawn, which I thought the attorney lady, which I thought she was gonna call Dina. I don't know why. Maybe my hopes was up. I thought she was gonna call Dina, but I was wrong. So the attorney bailed her out, and her next phone call was to Miss Philomena. Philomena is the nanny. Okay, she apologizes to Philomena and she thanks her for all that she has done for her, and she told her to take the next day off. And I was looking like, have you ever done that before? And why did your nanny hang up in your face like that? It just seemed like a pattern of behaviors, because even when Carrington was talking to her daughter in the beginning of this, Carrington is a busy mom because she's an attorney. She's busy all the time. You know, she's just busy. Anyway, Carrington was like, listen, she told the attorney, ma'am, who sent you? Why you here? Why you trying to be nice to me? Why you trying to be nice to me? I ain't got time for that. What you want? Okay? What you want? Okay? So she told her, listen, I want you to be a partner. And the reason why she wants her to be a partner is because Alora keeps taking Attorney Dawn's clients. And she has been studying, she's also been studying Carrington. And she knows Carrington is ruthless. And I need someone ruthless on my team so they won't take any of my $1 billion clients. Okay? An enemy, what is it? An enemy of mine's is something, y'all know. An enemy of an enemy is my friend. Y'all know how that go. Also, what's her name? The attorney said she had dirt on Alora. I bet she know about them embryos, and I bet she know Alora falsified that information to get those embryos inserted in her. For something tells me that she know about that. Okay. So in the next scene, we see Alora. She's having a conversation with Milan. They're discussing the baby, she wants to know if Milan told Chase yet. She said no. So now Alora wants Milan to tell Chase about the pregnancy. I do feel like in her own divorce, I feel like she's too emotional, but she's acting like she's not to see, like you are messing your stuff up. I mean, I'm sure they'll get her everything she want where Chase won't get zilch. I don't know. But I also feel like Alora is messing up her own case. That's just how I feel. Anyway, Milan calls Chase and let him know that she's pregnant. He gets silent. Okay? And so she was like, hello. And so he finally wraps his mind that he's having a baby, and he's really excited. So he was like, whatever you need, emotional support, financial support, whatever support, Chase is willing to do it because he's always wanted to have a baby. But of course, we know Alora can't have, she couldn't she couldn't hold the babies or have the babies. So that's why they needed the embryos so she can carry the babies. Anyway, Milan was like, I'm going to do this my way. Basically, she doesn't want Chase to be a part of her having this baby. Okay? And she hangs up. Again, Alora is way too invested in this. Like, the whole thing. You're too invested. I think all of this is going to blow up in her face. Anyway, Carrington has a conversation with her daughter about transferring to a new school, right? And she tells her daughter, hey, in order for you to get in this new school, you have to write the perfect letter, the perfect, what is it? It's not a letter. I'm about to say a letter of recommendation. No, it's a essay. I'm sorry, essay. So she has to write the perfect essay. So Carrington wants to write the perfect essay for her, but her daughter reasoning was it's basically about somebody who inspires her, like who she admired. So her daughter wanted to write about her, but not just about Carrington as a person, but Carrington the cutter. So this is what we found out. This is why she wore gloves, because she used to cut herself. Okay? It wasn't for dramatic effects or a fashion statement. Carrington used to be a cutter. And her daughter, she was asking her daughter, like, what do you start with? What is going to be your topic? What is this? And what is, just kind of helping her map out her essay. And so Carrington didn't mind sharing that. She was like, listen, this is personal. It's deep, but we need to catch them. But that gutter snipe in Carrington was like, okay, we going to talk about this. We going to cut them deep with, not physically. We going to cut them deep so they can put you in a school. They going to want you after they read this. That's all she was saying. So her daughter basically told her the way she's going to really shape the essay is her start is basically her daughter was scared that eventually her mom will unalive herself, and she may even cut herself again. And the way she looked at her daughter, like, ma'am, your daughter is really concerned about you, but she gonna put these concerns in this essay. That's what she gonna do. I wasn't mad at it. I honestly, I thought that their dynamic was really, really amazing as a mother and daughter duo. Okay. Also, Carrington did let her know, listen, you and I are just alike. Okay. When we need help with something, we don't ask for help. And her daughter is only 12, y'all. She's only 12. Well, she's turning 12. I was like, this is crazy. So in the next scene, we see Reggie and Liberty, and she signed a prenup. She made some, did some tweaks to it, because I bet that that prenup that she tweaked was very much ironclad. And so he told her, something about, you're such a smart woman. I don't know why I don't trust him. I don't know why I don't trust him. But in the next scene, the detective come by to the law office to speak to Alora about the unaliving of Lloyd Walton. Y'all know the one that S.A. Emerald. Okay? How is he the victim? Even though he unalive, they just I don't understand that. Okay? Some cases should just be cold cases, and this one should be one. Okay? So Carrington goes to her friend baby daddy's house. Okay? Not her friend baby daddy, but her friend / baby daddy. Okay? And they had not talked in a while, in a long time. They've been at odds for quite some time. So she asked him, like, when did we fall apart? And he was like, the hell? Like, when we fell apart. When we was not on good terms. He tells her that they fell apart when she sued his ex-husband for a child endangerment. So apparently their daughter was with him, had an asthma attack or something. It was something to the effect, and she felt like he didn't do what he was supposed to do as a stepdad. Okay, so her friend / baby daddy is gay. He had a husband, but they divorced a year ago. And anyway, she says she lets him know that Amy wants, which is her daughter's name. I think I have that wrong, but she wants her dad to come to the birthday party. And he lets Car know, like, hey, you they have all, I didn't write down the entire conversation, but basically we find out Car is the type of person that when she's good with you, she's good with you. She'll take care of you, she'll be there for you, but then when she drop you with no warning, no nothing. She just goes. She don't come around. She don't do any of those things until she's ready to pick the relationship back up. And then when she's ready to return, and when she's ready to return, she's expected to be greeted with open arms, as if you didn't just leave, you didn't just ghost these people or deserted these people, and you just feel like they're supposed to just welcome you back. That's not how that worked, but that's what he told her. We actually see Car finally reaching out, and she voiced that. She was like, listen, I'm finally reaching out. That's not something I normally do, but I need, basically, I need help with our daughter. All right. And he loved his daughter, but because those two were at odds, he wasn't as, he wasn't present as he probably should have been. Anyway, she says she wants to be better because she knows she's an asshole, she's a bitch, and she's jacked up. And she actually wants to show up better as an individual. Now, we'll see how all of this play out when it comes to those ladies. But I don't know if she's starting small or what. But I know when it comes to those ladies, yeah, no. So we get to the next scene. We see Dina. She just, watching Doug. He's laying there. He wakes up. He finally wakes up. And he finally lets her know that he doesn't have that long. He knew weeks ago. And he was like, I don't have that long to live, but I want you to be strong. Sir, you cannot tell this lady I'm about to die soon and then turn around to tell her to be strong. Who does that? Like, why are we doing this? Okay. So Dina takes it in stride. She gives him his meds so he can get some sleep, knock him out cold. When he kept saying, I just want to close my eyes, I ain't gonna hold y'all, I thought he was not coming back. I thought this was gonna be the big one, but it wasn't. I don't know yet. We'll see. That's just what I thought. So she goes into the kitchen to make her some tea, and yeah, she crashed out real quick, which is rightfully so, because my husband of all of these years is just now telling me that he's about to go be with the Lord, and I'm just supposed to be strong. Yeah, no. So she started to cry, break some shit, throw some shit, and then she started to scream. I wasn't mad at that, and this is where the episode ends. I will say this. I didn't know that Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner are the EPs on this show. Okay. That's all I wanted to say, y'all. The next video y'all will see is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Okay. Yeah. Bye.